What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. This is Stockholm Gunner, and this is the match preview for Wednesday's game, people. It is game week 26 in the Premier League, and we are playing against Wolf. We are traveling all the way to the Black Country and playing in their home ground. I want to say this will be an easy game, but then again, in the Premier League, there's no easy games at all, right? Wolverhampton, look, the way they played against us the last time we played against them in our home ground in the Emirates Stadium, they almost managed to get a draw against us. That was incredibly hard game against them, and we had to wait until the 94 minutes in that game to get the winner. We won that one 2-1, and it took an own goal for us to get the victory against them. But then again, I was watching their game in the weekend when they played against Grimsby Town, and I thought Grimsby Town was a lot better than Wolverhampton, and they were showing Wolverhampton how to play the game, basically. But however, Wolverhampton managed to win that game, people. They managed to win that game. So, like I said, they are seriously in trouble, Wolverhampton, and I think they will be relegated by the end of the season because they are sitting at the bottom on that table, people, in the Premier League table, right? Like I said, 1 victory, 19 losses, and 6 draws. Seriously not good enough to be in the Premier League. Let me show you the last 5 games they have played. This is the games they have played, people. They played against Nottingham Forest. That was an away game for them, and they drew that one 0-0. And then they played in their home ground against Chelsea, where they lost 3-1. And then in their home ground, once again, they played against Bournemouth, and they lost that one 2-0. And then they went over all the way to Man City, and they lost that game 2-0. And then it was Newcastle United, and they drew that one. It was 0-0 in that game. So I fancy us against Wolverhampton on Wednesday. I seriously do fancy us. We played in the FA Cup in the weekend against Wigan, and I thought we looked great in that game. Seriously, we did look very good in that game. Eberechi Eze seriously came up with a good performance, and he showed that he can be a creative midfielder. Look, Wigan is a poor team. We managed to beat them 4-0. We scored those 4 goals in the first 30 minutes of the game, and the way he was playing in that game, Eberechi Eze, was absolutely brilliant. Those passes that he found to Madueke with that first goal, Madueke scored. It was a brilliant pass, and the second pass to Martinelli, who scored the second goal, that was also a brilliant pass from Eberechi Eze. And then you have Christian Norgård, that pass that he made to Gabriel Jesus over the defenders and behind them, and Gabriel Jesus just brought that ball down and just simply turned around and chipped over the goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant, I thought, right? And then we defended very well. Wigan didn't have anything to offer at all in this game. They did manage to get a couple of attacks, right? But they were not nowhere near our goal, and we won that game. It was an easy game in the office for the boys, right? And what we saw in that game was that we saw Bukayo Saka playing as a creative midfielder. Very interesting to see him playing in that role, and I thought he looked good. I seriously thought he did look good in that game from that position, and he was doing the underlaps and the overlaps for Madueke. And one of those underlaps that he did for Madueke found him with the ball, and he crossed that ball back into the box, and Gabriel Jesus jumped on it. He didn't get a good connection, and then that ball went further on to one of the defenders of the Wigan defenders, and he got a head to it, and they scored an own goal. That was the third goal that we scored. So all in all, we scored 4 goals, and that was a brilliant game. So I'm going to give you my predicted starting 11 for the game against Wolverhampton, and I want to see something similar something similar like the Wigan game. I really do want to see that. So Raya will be coming back into that goal. Kepa played against Wigan, so Raya in goal, and then it will be Jurriën Timber right back, William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes in that central defense, and then Hincapié, right? Calafiori got injured, people, before the game even started in the warm up against Wigan, right? He got a bit of an issue and he couldn't play that game, so I don't know whether he will be available for the game against Wolverhampton. Bear in mind that I'm recording this one on Monday morning. Now, in that midfield, I do want to see a couple of changes in there. I want to see Declan Rice as the number 6, and then both if Martin Ødegaard is back, I want to see both Martin Ødegaard and Ebrici as in the 8 and in the 10. Those two, right? With those two creative midfielders, we should be able to break down Wolverhampton. That's what I want to see. But I think Arteta will go with what's his name, Zubimendi in the 6, Declan Rice in the 8, and Ebrici Eze in the 10. That's what I think he will come with for this game against Wolverhampton. And then the 3 front is Bukayo Saka on the right, and then Trossard on the left, and Victor Gyökeres up front. That is the starting 11 that I think Arteta will go with. But if it was up to me, I would have done that little bit change in that midfield. I would have brought in, if Martin Ødegaard is not available, I would still play Bukayo Saka as the number 10, Ebrici as the number 8, and then Madueke on the right, the front 3, Madueke on the right, and Martinelli on the left, and Victor Gyökeres up front. Those are the changes that I would have done to the starting 11, right? But however, you know how stubborn Mikel Arteta is with his team selection, and he will play the team that he thinks is going to win the game for us, and he's getting a lot of money for managing this team, so he knows what he's doing. So I think he's going to go with what I said with his starting 11, right? So what do I expect for this game? I expect for us to win this game, and I'm going to say it's going to be a 3-0 game, right? And I feel like Ebrici is going to score against Wolverhampton. I feel like Gyökeres may get a goal, and then Martinelli, when he comes on in the second half, I believe he will come on and he will get a goal. 3-0 for the Gunners. That was the match preview, my people. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I wish you a good day. Take care, people.